Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a forensic review of a company that finds itself right at the heart of a massive geopolitical chess match. The company is American Rare Earths, and its story is all about geology, high tech, and a nation's scramble to control its own destiny.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we have to talk about the big picture problem, the why this even matters. Then we'll get into the company that says it's the solution. After that, we're going to weigh the good and the bad, the bull case versus the bear case, before we land on the single most important question you, as an investor, need to be asking.
To really get what this company is all about, you first have to understand the massive national problem it's trying to solve. And look, this isn't just about digging stuff out of the ground. This is a serious issue of supply chain security.
And this quote right here from a very recent U.S. government proclamation, well, it basically sets the entire stage. The core issue, and this is now official government policy, is that being dependent on other countries for these critical materials is a huge strategic vulnerability. It's a massive risk.
So why all the fuss? What are these things? We're not talking about some obscure industrial metal here. Rare earths are the secret sauce. They're the foundational bits for the powerful little magnets inside everything from an F-35 fighter jet to literally every single electric vehicle and wind turbine. They are absolutely vital to modern life and defense.
Okay, so we've established the problem, right? A critical national need. Now, let's turn to the company that's basically raising its hand and saying, hey, we're the answer. This brings us straight to American Rare Earths and their big project.
American Rare Earths isn't shy about its mission. The company's entire pitch is that it's a direct solution to this supply chain nightmare. Their whole strategy is built around one thing: developing the Halleck Creek project in Wyoming, which, by the way, is a very mining-friendly state, to create a brand new domestic source for these must-have elements.
Now, let's talk about the number that underpins this entire story. 2.63 billion. That's the estimated tonnage of the resource. Let me put that in perspective for you. This isn't just a potential mine. We're talking about a potential multi-generational asset. It's one of the biggest undeveloped rare earth deposits in all of North America. Frankly, this number is the only reason we're even having this conversation.
So, what's the argument for optimism? Why are some people getting really excited about this? The whole bull case can be summed up in one word: execution. The company has been methodically hitting key milestones, which suggests it's actually moving from just exploring to, maybe actually building something.
Think of the bull case as a story of de-risking the project, like methodically checking off boxes on a to-do list. Step 1, prove you have a massive resource. Check, 2.6 billion tons. Step 2, prove the science works, that you can actually get the rare earths out of the rock. Check, they did that in a lab. Step 3, hire a CEO who knows how to actually build and run a mine. Check, this isn't random. It's a logical, step-by-step march toward production.
And these recent events, they create this really powerful narrative of momentum. They hit a huge technical milestone by producing what's called a mixed rare earth oxide. That's a critical first step. They hit a huge leadership milestone by bringing in a top-tier CEO. And they're hitting strategic goals too, with smart partnerships and a potential move to a major U.S. stock exchange.
And all this steady progress, well, people are starting to take notice. Some analyst forecasts, like this one from Wallet Investor, are now projecting some pretty significant long-term upside from where the stock is today. They're basically betting that the company can keep translating these wins into real shareholder value.
Okay, but we're here for a forensic analysis, right? And that means we need a healthy dose of skepticism. For every single one of those bull points, there's a pretty big risk on the other side. So let's pivot and take a hard look at the hurdles and headwinds this company is facing.
And here's the reality check. You've got this vast gap between the long-term, amazing strategic promise and the immediate, stark reality. This is a pre-revenue exploration company. Its PE ratio is 0 because it has no earnings. Its entire value depends on its ability to raise a ton of money and actually build a mine, which carries enormous execution risk.
The stock's own price chart tells this story of deep uncertainty. Look at this. AI-driven technical analysis shows a complete mess. On one side, you've got all these bearish signals screaming that momentum is slowing down and the stock is in a downtrend. But then on the other side, you have bullish signals fighting right back, suggesting the stock might be oversold and ready for a bounce. The chart is basically telling us that traders are just as conflicted as we are.
And when you drill down into the fundamentals, oh boy, the picture gets even weaker. These ratings from Tickeron point-blank call it an unprofitable business model where the potential returns just don't make up for the risk. But what's really telling, to me,
is this pattern noted by Stock Titan. Historically, the market tends to sell off after good news. That suggests a deep, persistent skepticism among investors about whether this company can actually cross the finish line.
So, where does that leave us? We have this incredible macro story and a strategically vital asset on one side, and then we have these huge financial and execution risks on the other. How in the world do we interpret all these conflicting data points? Ultimately, it all boils down to this one single critical question. Is this the ground floor of a future industry leader that will literally power America's tech and defense? Or is it a super high-risk gamble on a project that might never even get built? Your answer to that question changes everything.
So if you take away one thing from all this, it's this central conflict. The potential here is immense, it's strategically vital, and the progress they've made is real, it's tangible. But the risks are equally real and substantial. The company has somehow bridged this enormous gap from a promising deposit in the ground to a profitable operating mine. And the market right now is very, very uncertain if it can pull it off.
The data tells a very clear story of high potential clashing with extremely high risk. The company has a roadmap, sure, complete the studies, build a pilot plant, somehow secure massive financing. But the multi-billion-dollar question is whether that roadmap leads to a thriving U.S. industry or just another expensive hole in the ground. And your answer to that really just depends on how much risk you think is worth the potential reward.
Quick disclaimer, everything I share is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research or talk to a professional before making any moves with your money.